Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Real Estate Career Day with your host, me, and nobody else. I'm all the careers. How about that? When I got started in real estate investing, I actually got in as a real estate agent. I thought I could get in as an agent, learn the business, grow my real estate agency business, make money, and then use my knowledge that I was learning plus the income I would make to become a real estate investor. Now looking back after acquiring a few units and helping others do the same, I realized that there are several different ways into the real estate investing business, and maybe going back, maybe I would have picked a different way in. So that made me want to make this video for you guys, or for anyone else considering getting into real estate to eventually become a real estate investor. I want to give you the different options that you have for a job in real estate that will allow you to learn the business, grow in the business, and become that real estate investor. So the way I see it, there's really two ways that you can be involved in real estate. You can either work in it or you can invest in it. Now, I know people who do both, and I know people who do one but not the other. I'm going to go over briefly different careers in real estate and then where they fall on the cash flow quadrant. So if you haven't read Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant, I'll put a link in the description below so you can go check that out. So we're going to use that for the premise of the video. If it's been a while since you read it, or if you haven't read it, we'll do a really quick refresher. There's 4 quadrants. The left side of the quadrant is typically where you would find your jobs. You trade hours for money. And then the right side of the quadrant is where you would find your maybe more investors. You either trade other people's time for money or you trade your money for money. In the top left quadrant, we have employee, so you have a job. In the bottom left quadrant, we have a self-employed or small business. So you own a job. In the top right, we have a big business owner, and you would own a business or a system. This is where you would trade other people's time for money. And then in the bottom right, we have the investor, where you trade your money for money. While we go over these careers, I'm going to put them in each quadrant so you can see where they fall in getting to that elusive I quadrant down here. So we'll start with where I started, real estate agent. A real estate agent is someone who helps and assists other people with the purchase and sale of real property. A real estate agent has to work to make money. Now, I know agents who have teams. Either way, you would be a small business owner or self-employed, so you're going to go down in the S category. As an agent, I have to have my license with a principal broker. Should I make a mistake, or if I need help, or if I need advice, my broker would be the one that I would turn to for those things. Now, with that, I then have to give my broker an agreed upon fee on each transaction. However, most brokers I know just own their own business, so they would be in the S category. However, their ultimate goal of being a broker is if you don't work, you still make money. Other people are working and you're making money off of those people, so you could work your way up to being a B. So kind of depends on the level of your business, where you're going to fall in there. Basically, if you put more time in, or if you're a broker with no agents under you, then you would be an S. If you're a broker, primarily you go golfing and answer your phone and your agents call you and you just kind of solve problems, then you're a B. So the big one that everyone knows about is house flipping. HGTV says I make $400,000 flipping houses every house I do, and I do one a week, and I'm a millionaire, and I'm all this money, and that is, I'm sure, true for some people. However, most house flippers that I know in my area, they find the house, they buy the house, they fix the house up, and then they sell it. They do 4 to 6 a year, kind of on the side as something else. They have a job. Those kind of people would be an S level worker. So they earn their income from going out and finding. They do all facets of flipping. They find the deal, they find the deal, they pay for the deal, they fix the deal, they sell the deal, they move on and do it again. And if they stop working, then that chain doesn't work and they don't make money, so therefore they would be self-employed. I do know some flippers, and a lot of the flippers that you see running HGTV, they have a business. Now they focus and sit from up top. They have a system. The house comes online, their team goes and fixes and flips it. They make certain decisions to assist with that process, but they can do more than one at a time. They're trading all of the people underneath them, trading all of their hours for money, and they would be a B. So we're going to go ahead and kind of put them both places. Once again, it's just going to depend on the level of business that you've built for yourself. Just be self-aware with where you're at so you're not getting confused with which side of the quadrant you're on. Wholesaling. A wholesaler is someone who either purchases and sells a deal without touching it, or they create a contract to purchase the deal and then they sell the contract to someone else. It's called a signing. If that's legal where you're at, then great. If not, or the way to get around it most of the time is to purchase the house quickly and then mark it up a few $1,000s and sell it to somebody else quickly. This is what almost every guru on YouTube, Instagram, the radio, this is what they teach. This is the get rich quick in real estate. So basically, I tell you that you can get in your car, go drive and find an ugly house, knock on the door, tell them you'll pay $30,000 for them, take it back to your investors and say, hey, I have a house for $35,000. You guys want to buy it? They say yes because it's a great deal. Boom, you made $5,000 and all it took was driving down the neighborhood. That's how they pitch it to you. And that's how it works sometimes. A couple wholesalers I know, they wholesale by accident. They get too many leads coming in. They're like, well, that's a good one, but I don't have time for it. And then they sell it to somebody else. So wholesaling is a great thing to do. Now, most wholesalers have a job. They are, I guess they're self-employed. Most wholesalers own a job, I should say. They are self-employed. If they don't work, they don't make money. However, I do know one, shout out to Vena, who actually has built a very efficient wholesale business, and now she teaches other people how to build a wholesale business. Only guru on the topic I trust. I'll link her class down below. I don't get anything from it, and so I can't offer you a discount to it either, but it's already cheap enough. It's worth every penny. It's a great course. It'll be in the description if you want to see. Just tell Vena that I sent you. So for wholesalers, ultimately, we are going to put wholesaling as self-employed and wholesaling like Vena as a business. Now, where everyone starts muddling the lines of being an investor in real estate is owning rental property. Now, there's several different ways to own rental property, but we'll start with probably the most common, and that's the landlord. So as the landlord, you're probably the property owner, but you're also the property manager. So you actually invest as the owner, and then you work as the manager. So you have kind of both going on here. Now, that property is an investment. It is an asset that should yield you a return. It should be pretty good, and that return should be maximized because you're the one working on it. However, a landlord is still a self-employed person. If you can start building systems or hire a property manager, which would push you to the other side of the quadrant. But a landlord in general is a self-employed person. Along the same line as landlords, we'll talk about property managers. This is me currently. I still do a little bit of sales here and there, but my primary function is I'm part of a property management team. Now, I am an employee, technically. I go to work, I do my job, I get a paycheck every month. However, most property managers are self-employed. Whether they do it through their brokerage or through somebody else, they just manage 30, 40 properties for other people, and they are a self-employed employee. If they quit working, then everything falls apart, and it's tough to quit working, but if they don't show up, they don't get paid. Then you also have a property management company, like what my mentor, my boss would own, and we could put them as a business owner because that is the ultimate goal, is to own a business. She owns a bunch of people like me and my teammates, and that sounds horrible. She owns us. She hires a bunch of people like me and my teammates. We run the business for her. She oversees the business, oversees the systems, refines the systems. She would be a business owner. If you do want to get into real estate investing and you want to get in and you want to learn the game quick, I would suggest calling up your property management companies around the area and see if they're hiring. I know we always need help. Some other people always need help. It's a great way to get in. You can actually learn almost every facet from there because you always have people acquiring and selling properties, doing different creative things. Plus, you get to learn the numbers on the investing side as far as landlording, running the tenants, turning the tenants, how much turnover is going to cost, what you need to do to turn over the units. So I think you learn the business as a whole more if you work with the property manager. So now let's move on to the property owner. So we already talked about landlords, where they own the property and they manage the property, but what if you only own the property and somebody else manages it? So now here, we're gonna put property owners in the I category. Now we will assume that they own the property, but they have hired out property management. So their property returns a little less because they have to pay the property manager, and honestly, sometimes it's gonna yield more because the property manager, a good property manager, will be worth their commission. So, but you are ultimately pretty hands-off. At this point, you're a passive investor. You've put some money into a property, and now that property is going to make you money. So you put money and you make money. So your money's making money. So you're an investor. Boom, there you go. So moving on from the property owner, let's talk about a partnership. A lot of people partner to do deals. I've partnered to do all of my deals. It's kept me from putting any money into any of the properties that I own, and that's how I like it because I'm not rich, not yet. So there's several different ways you can set up a partner. It can be with one partner, two partners, three partners. You can partner with a business, partner with a 401k, partner with an IRA, all kinds of ways you can do partnerships. But typically every partner has two parts. Every partnership has two parts. You have the passive side and the active side. Now, whether it's 2 or 3 guys that are gonna fix and manage and do all the maintenance on the property, and you're gonna own it in a partnership and rent it out, and then there's 2 or 3 guys that actually put up the money, it doesn't matter. There's a passive side and an active side. So the active partner is now the active partner is going to go in the S quadrant because you just own a job. You might have some equity interest in the property. You maybe even put a little bit of money, but you have to put in some sweat equity on top of that. So down here we'll put equity partner, and in the investor side we will put the money partner. So you have your money partners, investors, and your equity partners doing the work, sweat equity, as self-employed people. Now everyone in real estate needs a lender. And if you want to grow, the faster way to do that is to use leverage. It's one of the ways, it's one of the reasons you invest in real estate. So you can use leverage to maximize your cash on cash return and push it up higher, upwards of 20 to 30 to 40%. Or in my case, since I put zero down, an infinite cash on cash return. And that was all through leverage, which you need a lender or partners for. So the lender, this can go either way. I think a lot of your traditional, when you think of a lender, they're probably the employees because they're your mortgage officer, your loan officer, they're employees. They work for the bank, they show up, they get paid, maybe they work on commission. And then the other side of that is the actual people lending the money. So typically they're just investors. They're loaning out money. We call them hard money lenders. So they're going to loan you money. It's going to be hard money because it's not coming from a traditional government institution. It's not Fannie Freddie backed. It's someone else's money that they saved, whether it's in an IRA, 401k, retirement account, or just money that they have that they need to invest because they don't like the return they're getting in whatever other investment options are out there, and they want to give it to you. Those hard money lenders would be passive. The loan officers would be employees. I do know, before I go on, I know some folks who broker money as a business. And so what they do is they take all the people that are investors, then they take their money and they broker them out and they service the loans. So they're kind of loan servicers. They do all facets of it, and they're actually self-employed. So it can be over here too as a lender. A couple more topics I want to talk about. One is REITs, real estate investment trusts. Now these are publicly traded companies. You can buy them on the New York Stock Exchange or other places. I own some REITs because most of them pay dividends, and you do invest in the REIT, but the REIT is a real estate company, so it's basically investing in real estate. So in that case, my money turns into money. I think I'm making 72 cents right now. I just started in 4 days ago, and the market opens tomorrow, so maybe I'll buy some more. So investing in a REIT, obviously, is the investor side. Anything you put in the stock market, is going to be in the I quadrant. Along the same lines as REITs is a syndication. And like with most of these topics I've talked about, there's actually 2 parts to the syndication. There's the management team, and then there's the money team. Kind of the same thing as a partnership, except it's SEC regulated. So the management team has to do some qualifications, and then all of the investors have to be qualified in some way. And there are limits to that. Go into more detail in another video. But you're basically, the active partners are the syndication management team, and they're going to be self-employed. And then there's the money partners, and they're going to be, the syndicators themselves, people that put the money in. They're more of almost the owners, and they are going to be investors. So that's all the ones I really wanted to go over and put them in the quadrant. I'm going to quickly go over a few more. Almost all of these are going to be self-employed. However, you can grow them into the business, like with most things in real estate. These jobs are in high demand in my area, and I'm sure they are in your area. With unemployment being really low, that means most people who want to work are working. Finding skilled labor is really hard. Most people gravitate towards that 9 to 5, the security of that job. And skilled labor, a lot of it's going out, meeting people, finding your own work, and making money. So that's what a lot of this is going to be. But if you're looking for a side hustle, I know I need help. If you're in Ohio, message me. And we are looking for, and other people, trash out or clean out crews, landscaping and snow removal, general maintenance or a handyman, general contracting or contractor services, plumbers, electricians, asphalt work, concrete work, roofers, skilled tile work. You could even be a title attorney or a title agent, an insurance agent, especially real estate investor focused. I know there's a big business for that. And other skilled trades that I didn't mention, drywall, painting. It's a huge list. There's all kinds of ways to get involved in real estate. If you are looking to get involved in real estate and you don't know where to start, I would start with biggerpockets.com. I'll put a link in the description below, and from there, put in all your information, sign up, create an account. There you can find your local meetups. So pay attention to the calendar, find your local meetups, and go there and just ask. Ask people how you can help. Hey, I can do this. Can I help you? And that is the best way to get started in real estate. Like I said, guys, I'll be posting every day in 2020, every single day. Sometimes it's going to be later in the day. I'm working on getting videos ahead, so they're going to start coming out in the morning. But regardless, it's going to be every single day. There will be an upload of some kind. The week is coming up. The market opens tomorrow, so probably for the week is going to be stock market videos because I've been enjoying that. That's what I'm learning right now. And then on the weekend, I'll probably do more coaching, kind of real estate type videos. If there's anything specific you want to see, let me know in the comments. If you're still around, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the bell, send me a message, leave some comments. I like to have some comments to reply to. Be a good start. And the goal is, at least 366 videos this year, because there's 366 days because it's a leap year. So we'll keep the train rolling. Thank you. Have a good night.